The Trench Crusades universe is a grim dark nightmare that blends alternate history with apocalyptic horror. From its surface level story to its deepest, most unsettling secrets, today we'll explore this world using the iceberg model, peeling back layers of terror and lore. What starts as a war between heaven and hell plunges into something far more sinister. We begin with the basics, the easily accessible lore of Trench Crusades. Set in an alternate timeline, the story diverges during the Crusades of the 12th century. A group of rogue Templars, consumed by hubris, attempted to control divine powers to dominate the Holy Land. Instead, they tore open a rift between dimensions, unleashing the forces of hell. The timeline advances to 1914, where the Great War is not just political but theological. Humanity fights for survival against both heaven's militant angels and hell's infernal armies. A mix of resistance fighters, mercenaries, and desperate civilians, led by ancient Templar generals corrupted into demonic warlords. Relentless angels who see humanity as a failed creation needing purification. These aren't just places of death, they are places where reality is thin. Soldiers report seeing ghosts, hearing whispers, and experiencing time distortion. As we descend, the Trench Crusades universe becomes more layered. Here we uncover the grim tools and dark rituals used by the factions. Humanity uses salvaged angelic relics and demonic artifacts, guns infused with holy runes, fire bullets that burn infernal flesh, while demonic weapons corrupt their wielders with every strike. The original Templars who caused their catastrophe now serve hell as twisted generals, their forms grotesque parodies of their former nobility. Heaven is far from benevolent. Their cleansing often results in entire cities being annihilated. Their forces are fanatical and deserters are cast into hell's depths. Both angels and demons harvest human souls to fuel their armies and machines, leaving survivors as hollow shells. The Abyss brings us closer to the unspeakable horrors of this universe. War becomes not just a fight for survival, but a descent into madness. Hell's war machines are powered by tortured souls, their screams echoing across battlefields. Some say these machines have a will of their own, dragging even the dead into their gears. Heaven conducts horrific experiments on humans, attempting to perfect their souls into weaponized forms. The few survivors of these experiments are angelic husks, living weapons that know only pain. Entire battalions of human soldiers vanish into the fog, reappearing years or even decades later, changed and unrecognizable, as if warped by time and otherworldly forces. In the deepest layers, Trench Crusades transforms into cosmic horror. The war between heaven and hell may be only the prelude to a far greater terror. Whispers in ancient texts and battlefield rumors speak of an entity older than heaven and hell. Some soldiers claim to have fought in battles centuries apart, recognizing faces they shouldn't have. The war may not just span dimensions, but also time itself. There are places on Earth where the war ended long ago, but the scars remain, abandoned cities where reality itself is broken, with twisted architecture and phantom armies endlessly fighting. Some theologians and mad scholars believe that the war will culminate not in victory for heaven or hell, but in the annihilation of all existence. The rift between realms is widening, and even the divine cannot contain it forever. The Trench Crusades universe is not just a story of war, it's a tale of unending despair, cosmic manipulation, and the fragility of existence itself. Each layer reveals more horror, more desperation, and more questions about the nature of this conflict. How far down can you go before you lose yourself?